Equifax forcing Congress to overhaul business at credit reporting bureaus. Joining us is Representative Patrick McHenry, a Republican from North Carolina. He introduced a bill that would require credit bureaus to phase out using Social Security numbers for identification by 2020. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
In fashioning this bill, I'm sure you thought of the possible alternatives to Social Security numbers. So what would they be, and what does science say in terms of how much more reliable they would be and secure they would be versus Social Security numbers?
Well, you got a whole variety of methods. You could use blockchain, biometrics, pens, enormous number of different opportunities, and we leave that up to the industry to decide what those things are. But the day and age of us using Social Security numbers in the hands of consumer credit bureaus should end. It's absurd that we're this far along with our personal identifiable information being given to credit bureaus most Americans have never heard of. We want to make sure it's protected and that consumers don't have to continue to experience these bad breaches.
What has been the reception to this bill from your colleagues?
Well, a little consternation from Equifax, obviously, but among my colleagues, this is viewed as sound policy, a step in the right direction. Most are surprised that consumer credit bureaus don't actually have on-site cybersecurity examinations on a regular basis or on any basis by federal or state and local government agencies. We changed that, and I think it's a necessary and proper step.
And of course, part of this bill is to require federal review of cybersecurity at these firms. Do you think something should go even further, though, Congressman? I appreciate the fact that you see that these are things that are probably doable, that they're within sort of the constructs of the way the industry exists right now. But do there need to be changes to the way this industry operates, in that you and I have data with this company, with all these three companies? We have no say in how that company uses the data. We have no say in how the company profits off of that data or how it is secured.
Well, the first thing, part of my legislation is obviously we shouldn't have to pay these bureaus in order to protect our data, which is part of their current business model. My bill says that they can't charge you for a credit freeze, which they currently do. But yeah, I think there's a larger societal question about the usefulness of the three consumer credit reporting agencies. The impact that they have on consumers, the data they use and how they collect their data, that's a larger question. In the short run, though, my legislation will protect consumers and make the system more resilient and protect us, and that's the first step.
You just mentioned something that comes to mind for me, and that is how these companies collect the data. They're getting the data from other companies that I do business with, whether it's a landlord whose application I fill out, or a bank, or an auto lease, or whatever, where I'm filling out things where they may be asking for my Social Security number or the last four digits of it. So the tentacles of this go very, very far through the economy, don't they, Congressman? And so if you merely attack the head of the octopus, you may not get all the tentacles of it.
Well, our legislation goes to that on the question of Social Security numbers. This will have a more wide-ranging effect on those that do lending and those that collect that data. The Social Security number was never intended to be a national ID number, which has effectively become. There's no provision in federal law that permits that. But this measure says that they should not be collecting our Social Security numbers and making it so easy for global cyber hackers to take our information and through these breaches.
I'm just curious, Congressman, what is the argument that you're hearing from the three credit reporting bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, against this legislation? What's their argument?
Well, their argument is free market. Let them operate how they see fit. I look at this and say, well, you're using my information and you're trying to profit off of me with my information. Let's just at least stop that. That's one. Two, let's not make it so easy that when you get hacked, that all of 2/3 of the American people have the consequences of your ineptitude. And so, look, they've got pushback, but we'll push through this. My legislation is measured, and we've got other members of Congress and other policymakers that are looking much more deeply into their business model and their reason for existing.
All right. Congressman, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Congressman Patrick McHenry.